So we're going to pivot a little bit for this week's video. This is normally not the kind of product that I review here on this channel. As many of you know, we mostly do overland camping, off-road type of gear. And I normally would say no to a company who offers me a product like this. But then I started to think about the stuff that we've needed in the 4Runner, and I saw some past reviews that people have done on this product, and I thought, oh, that's actually pretty cool. This is for those of you who have been wanting Apple CarPlay in your vehicle but don't have it. I mean, technically this also works for Android, but in my world, I don't think Androids are real phones. Let the arguments begin. Now, if you already have CarPlay in your vehicle, then this video is not going to be for you. But for the rest of you who have been wanting the convenience of CarPlay and you don't want to have to spend like thousands just for a brand new stereo unit that has CarPlay in it, then this might be a great alternative. And that is Carpuride. So this is the Carpuride HD display 7-inch IPS touchscreen. This is basically a great alternative unit than having to buy a whole new stereo system that has CarPlay built in already. Then you have to have that installed, might cost you like thousands of dollars, whereas this sub 300 bucks, and then now you have CarPlay. And what's great about this too is if you know you're going to be getting rid of the vehicle anyway, then you can take this with you, whereas if you had a new stereo installed, you can't necessarily take that. My wife drives her 4Runner to work every day, and it would be great to have the convenience of having CarPlay. Your phone syncs to this, and then it'll just mirror your phone, and now she can control her phone through here versus having to pull this out. So I think she'll really get a kick out of being able to use this instead of her phone. What would be really awesome though, I mean, this does have maps, so you can see maps, but I wonder if this will also like mirror you pulling up Onyx Off-Road or Gaia from your phone, because then if that can do that, then I don't need to bring the iPad anymore for the Gaia and Onyx and all the navigation stuff that we use off-road. If this can support that, that would make this like killer. I haven't even opened this yet, so let's open it up and see what's in the box. So here's the unit. I actually like the size of this thing. I didn't want something that was too tall and would obscure the view out the window, but I like that it's also wide, so you're getting a lot of visibility there. At the top, you have your power button, but I'm guessing once you turn this on and it's plugged into your vehicle, this will just turn on with your vehicle. And then on the side, you have a whole bunch of different ports. One of them is your 12 volt. Your charger goes into there. You plug this into the vehicle and that'll power this thing up. But next to that, you have a USB-A port, which is good because then you can use this to charge up your phone. Because once I put this into the 12 volt socket on my vehicle, that 12 volt socket is gone, and that's normally where we have our phone chargers. Well, now I can plug this into the vehicle, plug it into this, and then I can charge the phone through that USB-A port there. Next to that, you have AV out. So if you want to hook this up to your car stereo using an auxiliary cable, you can do it with that. But I'm realizing now that you can also Bluetooth this. So just Bluetooth this to the car stereo, and then you would sync your phone to this, and that's how that would work, and you won't have any cords at all coming out of this thing except for your charger. Next to that, you also have camera in. So if you don't already have a rear view camera in your vehicle and you want to put one, then you can put it into the camera in right there, and you'll be able to see your rear view through here. The 4Runner already has a rear view camera, so we're not going to be needing that. Next to that, there is a SD slot. That's probably for updates and whatnot. And then next to that, you have a microphone port. So if you don't already have a microphone either and you want to communicate through here, you could put a microphone on there and speak that way. But again, the 4Runner has a microphone. We'll be using that and the 4Runner's sound system basically for everything. This is just really just for visuals. Some instructions, some setup guides, and then you get a whole bunch of different mounts. This is probably what I'm going to use. So this gets attached to the back of this, and then if you already have something in the vehicle that has a ball mount, we have 67 design stuff. So I'm hoping this will fit on that. It'll just clamp on, and now we have it attached to our 67 design arm. If you don't have that though, they give you one of these that can go on the dash, and it has like a sticky pad on it, so you can stick this to the dash. Also has holes if you decide you want to bolt it through, but then this just attaches to that, and that'll go on the dash like so. And then they also have a suction cup version, so if you want something that's not permanent, you can attach this to the window, or they also give you a plate that you can also either adhesive to your dash or screw into the dash, and this will stick to that instead. So you have bunch of different options. I'm not going to be using this or this. All I'm going to need is this ball mount here and this, and we should have CarPlay in the 4Runner. So let's go ahead and put this in the 4Runner. It's not really an install. We'll just get it set up and then we'll go through the menus together and see if it works as good as I'm hoping it does. All right, so I have the Carpuride mounted up. I used the suction cup mount that it came with because none of my 67 designs or even my RAM mounts are compatible with the 17mm ball that this thing comes with. This uses a 17mm ball and 67 designs uses a 20mm ball and RAM mount uses a 1-inch. But I did get something on Amazon that will allow me to basically adapt a 17mm ball to either a RAM mount or a 67 designs mount. That way I can put it to one of these rails that I already have here. I think that'll just be cleaner than a suction cup mount. All right, so here's the main screen. Once you turn it on, the first thing we need to do is link up my wife's phone to the Carpuride. And how we do that is first we're gonna basically, something will pop up on the phone saying Bluetooth pairing request as a car accessory system. Go ahead and hit pair. I'm not gonna show you the phone because there's some pertinent stuff on here that I don't really want you guys to see. Now if you hit play, that should, there you go. So there's my wife's, basically my wife's phone. Now we need to connect the Carpuride to the stereo system in the vehicle. So let's go back home and then we're gonna go to transmit and we're gonna do Bluetooth transmit. Then we're gonna find it here. The 4Runner should show up. There you go. So we'll connect that. And there you go. So now let's go back home. Over here to settings, there is language. You choose a language. The device speaker is, so if you want to use the speaker out of here, it'll go through here, or if you want it to go through the car stereo system. Now over here we have iPhone wired link. I have iOS mirror. You can choose two options here. You can do iPlay or iOS mirror. iOS mirror will basically just mirror your phone, which I would rather prefer anyway. And then for your car, you have a video warning, park line setting, rear camera mirror. So if you have any of that stuff set up, that should if you have a rear camera, you can mirror it through here and you could see your rear camera through there. But we don't need to do that. The vehicle already does that in its own stereo system anyway. So let's go back home. iPlay would be for your iPhone. A-Auto is for your Android. AirPlay, if you want to play something, I guess, from your phone to here, you can do so. So maybe I can possibly do my Onyx Off-Road on here by AirPlaying it. This is for wireless iPhone AirPlay. So you would basically use your phone to search a device, Wi-Fi, and connect to it, and then you'll basically mirror it to here. AutoLink. AutoLink is for iPhone or Android phone screen mirroring. I don't think I need to do anything there. You have your EQ, so if you want to mess around with the sound system of this thing, you can do that. And over here you have your Bluetooth. Bluetooth is if you want to just set up. You can add more Bluetooth devices, I'm guessing. USB, if you plug something into the USB there, so if you don't want to Bluetooth it, you can just put your phone through the USB port there and that'll do that. You can also put in an SD card. I guess if you need to do an update or whatever to this, and they might have an update available for you to download, you could put it on a card, drop it into here, and you'll be able to update that way. Transmit is what we did already to transmit everything to your car stereo system, and then obviously we just went through settings. So really that's all. I mean, there's not much else to it except that you just go to CarPlay and now you basically have CarPlay in your vehicle without having to buy a whole new stereo system. And there you go, CarPlay on a budget. I think it's a awesome alternative for all of you who may want CarPlay in your vehicle but don't necessarily want to spend for a whole new stereo system that has CarPlay in it. Or maybe you might have a vehicle that you want to try to keep as original as possible and you don't want to switch out like the stereo system that's in there. For example, you might have like an older Land Cruiser, older 4Runner, older Jeep, and you want to keep everything as original as possible, but you still want to take advantage of today's tech. I think this would be something for you to look into. Now, personally though, if I had the money to get a whole new stereo system for the Jeep or for the 4Runner that already has CarPlay, I would probably prefer that just because it's an actual unit that's already built in. It's just that with everything that I want to do for the Jeep and the 4Runner still, having a new stereo system is just not really high up on our priority list. So this is a great alternative for my wife to be able to use CarPlay without me having to get a whole new stereo system for her. Admittedly though, the one thing that I really don't like about the unit, and it has nothing to do with the product itself, it's just the fact that you have to plug it up to a 12-volt socket, and that's just another cord that's kind of, I mean, I'll find a way to maybe hide it, but it's just another one of those things you got to plug in along with phone chargers and all the other cords that are there, and it's a little kind of messy. As far as mounting, I would really prefer to install this on one of the rails that's already installed in the 4Runner. I really don't like the suction cup mount that this thing came with. One, it's just another thing you're putting on the window and it's just obstructing the view. Like, why do that when you have rails available to mount things to? And then secondly, the suction cup thing had some kind of adhesive on the actual suction cup that when I put it on, it was super tough to get it off. Like, it was so tight. Normally you'll get like suction cups and it's just a regular suction cup and you kind of wet it a little bit, put it up on the window and then tighten it and it'll stay. But this one had some sticky residue to kind of help keep it there. And I don't like that. But otherwise, product works really great. Like, the interface is good. It's simple to use. You just plug it up and follow the prompts and you're set up. There's not really much for me to walk you through. I mean, the menus are pretty self-explanatory and I don't think I need to walk you through how CarPlay works. I wish though that you could really mirror some of the apps that we use off-road, like OnX, or for some of you that use Gaia. It'd be great to be able to see that on there. Then we don't need to bring an iPad. I think that would be awesome. But anyway, since the video is not going to really be long, I have some stuff that I kind of want to unbox. I think you'll get a kick out of some of them, or you might find useful. All right, so first thing I got are some door hinges from Hook Road. You know, I'm in the process right now of like painting my inside door jambs, and then I'm gonna be wrapping the vehicle, and I don't want to have to wrap the door hinges because those are going to be kind of tough. So these are black hinges for the Jeep. It'll replace the OEM ones. When I get the Jeep wrapped and everything and I'll put these on, I think it's going to look really good, and I can't wait to show you guys that. Next up, I got something from Free Spirit Recreation. I bought this myself. If you own a Free Spirit Recreation Odyssey or Evolution tent, this is how you held the rooftop tent closed. They're rubber and they're tough, like they've never loosened up. But man, these are not good. You have to like stretch it and kind of get it underneath the hook. And man, I have pinched my fingers so many times between this and wherever it hooks onto like that, or just trying to get it underneath there. You have to get above it and kind of get leverage to get it down. And oh my God, what a pain in the butt these were. I'm throwing these away. This is gonna be so much easier because this basically will just clasp on. I mean, it goes like this. You kind of set it up like this, and if you've seen these before, I mean, they're just a latch, and you put it onto the bracket at the top, and then you push it down, and it closes your tent. I would rather have this and spare my fingers and the toil it takes to just open and close my rooftop tent. This will make things so much easier. A couple weeks ago, you guys saw me do a video on the Devos Outdoor Light Ranger camp light. They sent this to me. This is the Light Ranger motion sensor. A lot of you in that video said it would be great if there was some sort of app or remote control, because when you set that light up, it's really high up there. It's very, very tall. Well, this is going to be a great addition because you can put this on the pole, and then anytime it senses motion, it'll turn on, which is a great energy saver too. So you can put it somewhere, and when you're not near it, then it'll just turn off. Also a good security feature too. So if you're camping and there happens to be a person that is walking into your campsite, or an animal, a bear or anything, this will sense the motion, it'll turn the light on and hopefully scare the animal or the person away. Actually, let's test this out, see how well it works. You have two functions. You have sensitivity and then you have time. So you can have it turn off after a certain time. It's on max right now, and then sensitivity looks like it's on high. Let's turn the Light Ranger on. All right, so let's turn this around because it's detecting me. Okay, it's off. Now I'm going to move. Oh, look at that. But anyway, that's it. I apologize. This really wasn't an overland gear video, but I hope you found it useful anyway. I hope it's something that you might want to look into. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you smash. Actually, don't smash. Set up the Bluetooth on that like button so you can trigger it remotely. Subscribe to our channel. Also hit that notification bell so we can let you be aware of new videos when they come out. And if it moves you, support us on Patreon. It gives you access to all of our videos before everyone else. And it gives you access to our live streams when we do them. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Baptism Overland. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time. I'm trying to, I want this to turn off. Yeah, I'm going to sit here and wait for this. All right, never mind.